Hi, I'm Mark Rushka. Welcome to my 5th video that attempts to educate the viewer about an advanced Caucasian Ice Age culture's microlithic abstract art figurative language. I'm going to pick up where I left off in the last video that focused on characters from the Mammoth people's most popular folklore tale of the volcanic mass exodus. In it, the upset waist-high young maiden leaves the front of her compassionate big brother and madly marches towards the ranks of the multitudes of miserable, weary trekkers who are filing down through the narrow, windy mountain pass in the middle of the Pleistocene night. The madly marching waist-high young maiden takes big marching steps and swings her little cape-covered arms wildly to and fro while she scolds her naughty kitty that she makes briskly walk beside her. The problem was that she was looking down at him while she scolded him, and she wasn't paying any attention to where she was going. Mind you that everything that you see in this scene is being illuminated by flashes of lightning that are coming from the violently erupting volcano's broiling ash cloud that's pursuing them. So it's understandable how she could blindly run into a hunched-over, decrepit elderly herdswoman and knock her down. Afterward, she stands mortified as the decrepit elderly herdswoman's elderly husband and their adult daughter look down scornfully at her, while her kitty sits on his haunches and nonchalantly grooms himself. As I have done in previous videos, I'm going to place this imagery in your mind's eye by showing you line sketch illustrations from my second book, Reflections from the Pleistocene. And if you followed the other videos, you would already be familiar with this one, which is the volcanic mass exodus. And this is the madly marching waist-high young maiden. She just left the front of her compassionate big brother to go madly march out in front of him, where crotchety grandma could keep a glaring eyeball on her. And over to the side, it's the multitudes of miserable, weary trekkers that are also trekking down the narrow, windy mountain pass. So, what happens then is she runs into this elderly herdswoman and knocks her down. She knocks her cane out from under. The elderly herdswoman's elderly husband attempts to help her. He was assisting her, and so was his adult daughter. One of the last sketches I sketched before I published the book was this one. It's a very simple sketch, but it was just to try to get in the fact that there was a pair of giraffes that was trekking with them. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's what I found in the art. And this is the waist-high maiden, or kitty, and she just ran in and knocked the elderly herdswoman down. And that's basically what we're going to focus on in this piece's interpretation. So now, here's the piece. Let me get positioned here. This stone, it's a heat-treated, polished, wind-blown, like suppose sand pelted it. It laid on the surface of the ground for 13 millennia at the Spanish diggings. It doesn't look like anything but a stone. It isn't, in fact, a knife scraper utilitarian tool. This is the knife edge. This is the knapped knife edge right there. You hold it like this to cut with this edge. And it fits your hand. This groove right here is so your hand wraps around it so you can hold it. It's very comfortable. These pieces were created as artworks first with a utilitarian use in mind, but they were basically creating the artwork first. And they were storytelling tools for their children. So now I'm going to get into the art part of it. Right here, is the combined optical and cognitive illusion, statuesque image of the rear right side of the fallen, decrepit elderly herdswoman. This is her right shoulder. This is the top of her hood-covered head. She has a bonnet on underneath of it. Front of her face. The knife edge of the piece is the front of her face. Her nose. This is the lightning illuminated side of her. And that's actually the waist-high maiden standing over here and being illuminated. But that's like on her right eyebrow. She's got a sad expression on her face. Here's her mouth. Moles. Chin. Right shoulder. Her head is down on the ground and she's attempting to lift her head up and look like this. Her husband, her elderly husband, is standing over in front of her. And to verify that, this is the front of his face. The reflection, that's his nose, his bearded mouth, his eye, his hood. They're sharing the same, like the one side of them, they're actually opposing heads. But to verify that he is reflecting from over here, all we got to do is rotate her as if he's standing now with his feet right here at the top of her head, and he's looking down at her like this. To verify that, simply concentrate your gaze right here. This is the front of a close-up image of the front of his face as he bends down to help her up. That's the front of his hood. Here's his rub-down cognitive illusion light. I call these snapshot images because the artist rubbed down through the white part of the stone till they got to the dark part, and they actually made snapshot imagery. Here's his mouth, his mustache, his white beard, his sad left eye, his sad right eye, his nose. Further away is his daughter's face. They're lightning illuminated. That's her left eye. She's scornful. She's mad. That's her downturned mouth. This is the front left side view of her face. She's further away looking down while he's bending down to help her up. Help his fallen wife up. Now, we should see somebody opposing her head. They are opposing heads, basically. And they're inverted to each other because he's upset that she's fallen and he's helping her up. But we should also see, and I'm going to shut the book now. See if this will work. On the other side of her head, we should see an opposing head to her. So she's lifting her head and she's looking towards you, but who sees her like this as she picks her head up towards him? So we turn it around and we actually do see the left side of her face, or what we think is the left side of her face. But what we're actually looking at is what sees her like that close up. And what she sees is this. And what you're looking at is the nonchalantly grooming kitty's head, left arm, shoulder, left side. That's his squinting left eye, his right eye, his nose, his mouth, his right ear, his left ear smashed down and wet and his eye is squinting because he's licking his left paw. There's his left elbow, his shoulder. He's licking his left paw while he sits on his haunches, and he's swiping it down over his face. That's why this ear's flat. He's licking it right now, and then he's going to go swipe it down, just like you see kitties grooming themselves. See that? He's a direct opposing head to the fallen, decrepit elderly herdswoman. When she looks, he sees her like this, and when she picks her head up to get up off the ground, cold, hard ground, she sees him like that. Now, since he's right there, so there should be an opposing head to him. Like, that's actually looking towards him, face to face. So on the back of his head is, this, in the same proportions to him, is his waist-high mane. This is her bonnet-covered head. That's her pug nose, her right eye, her mortified mouth. Or you can see it two different ways, because you're looking down on her, just like you're looking down on him. Both of them are being seen by the elderly herdsman, the sad elderly herdsman, and the scornful herdswoman, his daughter. They're looking down on her. So you could actually see this like, that's her pug nose, that's her left cheek, that's her open, mortified mouth. But there's two ways, or you can just see it as a left side view, depending on how you see it, because it's all about seeing everything at one distinct angle. But at this one distinct angle, that's her left cheek, that's her left eye, her right eye, her pug nose, her open mouth, her chin, her bonnet, the frilled front edge of her bonnet. She too has a cape put over her bonnet. And you are seeing both of them the way those two adults see her, looking down. To verify that that is her, we would see the way the hunter herder abstract artist usually does this is right here is the mortified waist-high maiden. That's the right side view of her white, lightning illuminated face. That's her pug nose, her open, wide open right eye, her open mouth, her chin. Her nose is superimposed on her raised left hand that's up to her mouth. Just stare until you get it. If I could zoom in on that image, I would see that there's the opposing heads. Her hand is actually like pink, but it's also, she's reflecting off of his left paw that he's licking before he swipes it down over his head. Watch. This piece actually freestands so that you get it. Until next time.